All right, welcome back to Restoring Christine. Bill here. Christine is well on her way. 4 weekends left after today to get her ready for cruising the coast, and we're getting close. Last weekend, I put all the stainless steel trim in the windows on the passenger side. Showed you how to do all that. Well, this weekend now, I finished putting on the front clip. But now that I finished that, I'm going to get into putting in the radiator, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to unbox a cold case radiator, brand new, for this Tri-Five, and then we're going to install it. So let's just get into it. All right, so Christine, I've had for 20 years. And as long as I've had her, she's had a V8 in it with a 4-speed. But from the factory, she would have been an inline 6 car with 300 tree. So as a 6-cylinder car, it was never converted. It was never moved. They never did modify the bulkhead. You can take this bulkhead, you can flip it around and put the radiator in the V8 position. But the radiator itself, this is a 6-cylinder position radiator. So this radiator has been in here for a long time. I think it's a 3-core radiator based on what I can see on the inside. I'm pretty sure that this is a 3-core. But it's not a bad radiator. I never had a problem with Christine overheating. But you can see this radiator is tired. It's got some salt up on the front at the bottom of the tank. It looks like the tank maybe was starting to leak. Also a little bit of salt here. Tank was leaking here, and you can see the condition of all the, the grating, the grill, the fins. It just doesn't look that good. So this radiator's old and tired and is due to be replaced. And that's with the restoration, it looks like this. It doesn't deserve a new radiator. So that's what we did. I ordered a cold case radiator from Summit, and it was direct drop ship from Cold Case itself, I believe. So this has been unopened. Unfortunately, last night I got caught in the rain in the back of my truck, and the box is a little bit wet, but it shouldn't matter. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna put you on a tripod. Let's unbox this and let's see what this thing looks like. So one thing I'm expecting to see in here is this is an aluminum radiator. It's also, I believe, got more or less the same sort of a core that they use for racing radiators. I think it's a two core, but it's much bigger diameter tubes. I think we're gonna find out. Let's see if I can't get it out of the box here. Looks like it comes well packaged. Oh my goodness, it looks pretty. Slippery as an eel. All right, there we go. Okay, let's lay it down. Oh man, cool guy. That is pretty. That is pretty. Let's get in on that. Look at that. Look at that. So let's see. It is beautiful. Let's see. Wow. Come out of the foam. Switch out of the foam. Flip that over. And it's stuck again. No markings on the front, but on the back, how do you like that? They tattooed their name on it. So let me get a razor blade. I'll open up the plastic. Boy, that is pretty. Oh man. Oh, I was expecting to paint this. I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. I don't think I will. I was going to paint it black to kind of hide it. Wow, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Let's see if we can crack it open. See the tubes? I'll show you that after I get the cap off, and then we can take a peek inside. Yep, just like I was saying. Wow, those are broad tubes. Holy cow, wait till you see this. All right, there you go, just as I thought. 2 sets of tubes, long tubes. So there's 2 tubes there, one long and flat, as opposed to 1, 2, 3 on the 3-core. So this is a 2-core radiator technically, but you can see there's no comparison in the size of those tubes. compared to the 3 small tubes. Those are like small, maybe 3/8 of an inch, ½ inch at the most. These are huge. They're monsters. So let's see. Looks like it's all TIG welded, Heliarc. Oh, this is beautiful. It's got transmission cooler ports on the bottom, which I won't be using. I have a manual. It's got the bracket on the side, so this is for the 6-cylinder position. Tube on the top. Beautiful welds. It's gorgeous. Looks like a really nice, heavy-duty machined neck. That is pretty. Wow, 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 wow. This is beautiful. Man, the cold case label on it. We are not painting this. There's no way. We're not painting this. They didn't give me any option. It's got the petcock on the front because it's a 6-cylinder. And the tank on the bottom is much bigger. Wow, wait till I show you the tank on the old one. Hold on, let me get them side by side. So watch this. So here's the new tank on the bottom. It's the full width of the radiator. Watch the old one. I noticed this when I was trying to horse the hose off of the bottom. Look at the size difference in the tanks. Holy cow, this is going to hold so much more volume. You'll get better flow, you'll get more coolant. Man, that's twice the volume in the bottom tank. I mean, look at that. I wouldn't doubt if that's an extra 2 quarts of capacity in volume. And man, you know, so this is just for a little small block. That's a 307 that I have in here. So it's not, you know, I'm not asking it for a whole lot, but wow. Wow, wow, wow. One thing I'm just noticing while I've got it up here is the bracket on the side. The bracket on the side has, it's just slotted where the factory has the tapped nuts welded to the frame. So this bracket is set up a little differently. And I'm also noticing that this bracket sits wide. I don't know how the width of the radiator is. Maybe the width of this is a little narrower. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like this out to out width is probably the same. Let me go ahead and measure that and make sure. So let's see. The original one, 23 and 3/8, 23 and a half. Yeah, it was bent right there. 23 and a half, say, out to out. 23 and a half. And this one, 23 and a half out to out. So, it's ready to go. Just bolt it in. So let me go ahead and get ready. We'll go ahead and put it right on this radiator cradle and see what it looks like. One thing I just noticed, I just went to just place it in the cradle there to see how it fit. And these holes, 1, 2, 3, these are the ones, the 3 that are going front to back are the ones that are meant to go to the radiator cradle. Well, look at where the inlet is. This is, I think, 1.5 inch inlet that goes, and this hose goes to your thermostat at the top of your manifold. I want you to look at that and look at the filler neck. Look at the factory one. Look how much higher that is, and look how much lower the filler neck is. So what I just noticed is when I put this in place, this was touching the top of my radiator cradle, whereas, and it still wasn't lining up with the holes. So I'm gonna have to do some modifying to get this thing on. But what I did too is I went and I put a straight edge from the hole to the hole and measured, and you got 5-inch clearance from the center line of the hole to the bottom of this. You got 5 inches. On this one, 5 3/4. And then to the top of the filler neck, to this one you have 8 from the center of the hole to the top of the filler neck, and that you have 7.5. So they do tell you, they warn you about underhood clearance and making sure that it fits before you do something. I don't know what, but I mean, what are you going to do once you mount it? I mean, it's in there. So I need to see how this is going to fit up, because these factory holes, these slots that go front back, and those slots that go front back don't line up. These are a 1/2 inch too low for where the radiator is. So I need to step back and evaluate that and figure out what I want to do. So got it set in place, and I have it resting on my top cross member for my radiator bulkhead, the radiator cradle. See what it looks like from the back side. But let me show you something. I was only looking at one side, I wasn't looking at both. So the hole in the bottom lines up, the one in the middle lines up, the one in the top's a little bit off. Now maybe they're off, maybe the factory's off, but I doubt that the factory is off. And the other side is not. I mean, look, I don't have, the hole is missing. It's missing, it's missing. All three of them. The hole is just a little bit high. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit high. So, let's see. Maybe we can measure this. Maybe they mounted the bracket high, too high. Let's see if we can't get a dimension on something. Looks like this one is about 5/8 inch above the weld. And this one's 5/8 inch above the weld. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's a factory cradle. That's a factory cradle. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these bolts, these bolt holes, these slots. I'm gonna have to pick the radiator up because I can't have it sitting like this. So I'm gonna have to pick the radiator up. I'm gonna have to enlarge those holes a little bit. And then I'm gonna have to drill out some new holes in this one and be crazy careful not to hit the side of this radiator. So that's what I've got to do. Let me mark it, I'll pull it out, and then we'll enlarge it. Good thing it's aluminum, it's soft metal. So there you go, there's my mark. So from the center of the hole to here, probably about maybe a 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch difference on all three. And the other side's really weird. The other side, this one barely misses. This one misses by a little bit more, and this one misses by a lot of it. So I don't know what to say about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and drill them out, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can't get it mounted. All right. So I got them. 1, 2, 3. You can see how off they are when I marked them with the Sharpie, and then how different they are on this side. So I don't know what's going on with that, but again, that's a factory cradle, and that radiator never had any problem fitting. So let me go ahead and put it up there, and we'll see what it looks like now. So I got a radiator hose just holding it up for the right height, and now you can see the holes are looking at me just right. Right there, right there, and right there. And then on this side, there, there, and down there. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt it up, and let's see what it looks like after that. Alright, I got it where I want it. Tighten it up. It's just 6 bolts. So the factory radiator, like I said, had the threaded boss on the back of it, kind of like a welded nut, so to speak. And this one does not. You have to put bolts with nuts. But there you go, it's in. And yep. Let's step back and take a look at it. There you go, looks like a radiator. It's fitting in there just fine. Disappointed that I had to modify those bolts, those bolt holes. You can kind of see it over there. But, so check it out. Cold case radiators. Caution, caution, caution. Check hood clearance before closing. Made in China. So I'm just going to pray that when I bring my hood in, that this clears. It's a lot higher than the other one. I'm going to measure it and show you. So the old one from the bottom of the filler neck to the top of that inlet is maybe 2 inches. So I'm maybe 2 1/4 or 2 3/8 here. And now this one, 3 3/8, so 3 1/4. So I'm a full inch higher with this one. shouldn't be enough. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, but we won't know until we get the hood here. Well, that's going to do it. You know, one thing about my channel is I don't varnish anything. You know, it's like I give people a benefit of the doubt. I give vendors a benefit of the doubt. You can check any of my videos out. If I've got a good vendor or a good supplier, I will give them a shout out and I get nothing in return. So cold case, I think that's a quality unit. It's a beautiful radiator. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to cool the car. But as far as a fit, that could be better. That could be better. That neck, that return inlet needs to be higher. You raise that up 3/4 of an inch, they got the room to do it, and if they would do it, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. Be able to drop that down, it would fit in the radiator cradle originally the way it was supposed to, and I wouldn't have had to go through all that. But there you have it. Cold case radiator. Mostly a thumb up, maybe a 3/4 thumbs up. How's about that? So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying the channel, as always, I'd love a subscription. I'm going to continue working on Christine. I'm going to get something else done. Not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but I've got a lot in front of me. So until I see you next time, please take care of yourself. Cheers.